Hi, this is Howie from Prime Your Pump, entertaining and actionable self-improvement. And this week's lesson is on how to resolve group conflicts. And a lot of times group conflicts comes from the behavior of one or more people in the group. And there are classic kinds of problematic behavior. So, for example, there's the slacker. This is somebody who's lazy and doesn't contribute to the group. There's the dominating person who just simply won't shut up and doesn't give anybody else a chance to talk. There's the argumentative group member who has something to say about everything. All right. There's the tardy group member, always showing up late, screwing things up. There's the hostile group member who has issues about everything. They're just an angry person. There's the passive group member who doesn't open his or her mouth. So, why are they there? There's the inept group member. They screw everything up. It's very, very frustrating. And of course, my favorite, the offensive group member. Okay? And this is like offensive language, offensive behavior, body odor. And as a matter of fact, I have to tell you, I used to have a colleague years ago who had such disgusting BO. I'm talking about that sweet, rotten meat smell BO, that kind of BO. And he used to want to come into my office. And every time he walked up, I said, stop there. And I would go out because it would take days with a fan to blow out that rotten, stinky meat smell. It was just disgusting, okay? Now, getting back on topic. There are 5 ways you can deal with a problematic group member. And the first way is to do nothing. And this is clearly a very bad way to go. It's a passive way to go. And you can look back on our blog about assertive, passive, and aggressive behavior. But this is a doormat way to go. You don't want to go that way. So, for example, let's say you have 5 college kids and they're all sharing a dorm room or an apartment, etc. And one of the roommates is a real slob and you do nothing about it, all right? That's an example of the do nothing. That doesn't get you anywhere. The second, technique is to use an offline, what's called iMessage. And this is a minimal intervention, and this is really, really important for you to learn how to do. So I really think you should be looking at this video a bunch of times. And also, I want to refer you to a book by Clayton Tucker Ladd. That's Tucker-Ladd. Clayton Tucker Ladd, hyphenated last name, Psychological Self-Help, and look at chapter 13. It is the best how-to book on iMessages and that kind of stuff I've ever seen, and it's free. Now, the book is 1,500 pages long, so don't be scared, but you can hone in right in chapter 13 on iMessages and really get a lot of great examples. So a typical format for an iMessage is something like this. I feel, fill in your emotional state, when the conditions that create your emotional state, because it makes me think that, your emotional response to the other person's behavior, and please, what I'd like to see you do in the different. So here's an example, for the slob roommate. I feel angry when you leave your crap all over the place because it makes me feel that I am your servant, Please clean up after yourself in the future. Now, notice I didn't insult the other person. I just made my needs known, without hurting the slob. That's a lowest level iMessage, and this is something you really should do. And in my experience, if you use iMessages, to resolve issues, in fact, you may solve 20% of your issues just by using this low-level iMessage. The third level, for conflict resolution, is a we message. Now, a we message is just like an iMessage, except it comes from the group. So everybody in the group has to agree to the delivery of this message. So it would be something like this. We are angry, or we are frustrated, that's better. We are frustrated when you leave your crap all over the apartment. It makes us feel like we're your maids, Please don't do it in the future. Now, This may take, in my experience, 20% more of your problems away. So now you've solved 40% of your problems with iMessages. That's not bad, all right? And the final type of iMessage is a we message delivered with consequences. So for the slob roommate example, it would be something like this. We feel frustrated because you leave your crap all over the place and it makes us feel like we're your maids, okay? Please clean up after yourself in the future or else there will be consequences. Now the slob might ask, well, what are the consequences? And you say to the slob, that's none of your damn business. Just do it and you'll find out, all right? But if he or she does do it again, you have to have a consequence, or now you're just completely impotent without any teeth, all right? You must have a consequence of some meaning. And the final level is kicking the roommate out, expulsion from the group. And this is something that I really have to warn you about. If you expel somebody from the group, you never know when they're going to show up in your life again. And as an example, we had a tenured full professor who was chairman of my department here. And I happen to like the guy a lot. But let's just imagine that I hated him, all right? He retired. And let's suppose at his retirement party, I walked up to him and said, you know, when you die, I'm going to go and I'm going to take a leak on your grave. And you want to know something? This actually happened to me. They brought him back from retirement because we needed a chairman and he was my chairman again. So you can imagine what would have happened if I would have expelled him from the group. So expulsion from the group is a very dangerous thing. And you never know where they're going to show up again in your life. So in terms of use it or lose it, okay, figure out which of the 5 methods for dealing with a problematic group member is going to work best for you. Certainly it's not the do nothing one or the expulsion one. It's going to be one of the 3 escalating iMessages. And when do you use it? Well, whenever you're having conflicts with people in your group. And what do you think? Can you think of an example where you could have used this in the past? All right. So send us your comments, but remember, I really, really, really want you to think about using iMessages and we messages when appropriate in your life, okay, to deal with problematic people. It's an amazing, amazing tool. And until next week, remember, okay, to look at our other blog posts. And if you like them, click on them. And remember to sign up for our weekly newsletter. And until next week, remember, prime your pump.